The word for the day is blogging. Ben Kirby over at the Spencerian had a really good post that I read this morning on, why he blogs and why do people blog, and kind of just some like thoughts about, blogging in general and the kind of the bigger meaning of it all. And, I've been thinking about that since I read it and thought it was obviously a very good post. Ben's a good writer and always does good stuff. And I wonder if most people who do it actually sit down and think about it the way that he did, and I've done some of that in the past before. And I actually will work up a full kind of post. I've been thinking about it actually since before the election, kind of why people blog, what the role of the blogger should be, and all of that type of stuff. And I just wanted to comment on a few reasons why I do it and why I do it the way that I do it. And the number one reason that I think that I do it is because I think it's something that can have an impact. And I think it's something that can change the world, or in the states, and since I focus on state politics, can change the state. And I think that the way I go about it, one is trying to provide information, gather as much information in one centralized point as possible, so that people can find that information easier. I think that's one of the approaches I try to choose. Try to build community, try to link as much as I can to other blogs, and compliment the people whose work I think is helping and making a difference, and getting in debates and arguments and discussions with people on different sites about politics, what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, all that kind of stuff. I also kind of, I think about politics and study them and read about them a lot, so I have lots of thoughts and ideas and strategies and experiences and all of those type of things, and kind of like to give some insight in those areas, at least from my perspective, and hopefully other people find that useful and can benefit from the things that I know and the way I think about things. And in the process of reading blogs, I do get a lot from the other people that I read. So those are kind of some of the key things. And because I do this stuff so much, and I think that there's such a vital role for state blogs, I'm also trying to turn it into something that helps pay the bills on top of that other stuff. I mean, I'll keep doing it whether it turns into a profitable thing or not. That's not really what I'm in it for, and I'm obviously not going to turn it into Marcos or anything like that where I can make an entire living off of it. But if it's something that can pay for itself, and I mean that in terms of both covering the costs of a website and that type of thing, but also the labor costs that go into doing this stuff, then I'd be happy with that. But I think there's a lot more that we need to talk about and discuss on all the blogs and on video and radio shows and all that stuff, in terms of what we're doing, why we do it, and that type of thing. And there'll be more later.